Billie Eilish just got a restraining order against a stalker. Here are all the details. I'm Jana Rosenberg.
I'm Gabi Conti, and this is your 24/7 celebrity news. Billie Eilish hasn't had the easiest time with her fans, from impersonators pretending to be the singer, in public, on the internet, and even in porn. Now she has a stalker who just won't leave her alone, as Billie just filed for a restraining order against an obsessed fan who keeps showing up at her home and will not leave her alone. And this is just so scary. I feel like we talk about this a lot with the TikTokers that we cover about how people are going to like the Sway House or the Hype House, whatever, like unannounced. But it really is like, it's such an invasion of privacy, and it's not cool at all.
It just really makes you feel so unsafe in places where you should feel completely comfortable and safe, which is so not cool, you know? I mean, I don't know, I'm glad she took legal action. I think she made an example of this, and now hopefully people that are feeling as crazy as this guy will not even touch that kind of territory.
Not even touch it, not just for Billie, but for other people. And also it made me think too, just about people that aren't famous who have like stalkers or have maybe like abusive exes who keep on trying to like get back into their life. Like, it is really scary, and I just really hope that there is change coming with this kind of stuff and how we treat people who stalk other people. I totally agree.
Billie has thankfully been granted this restraining order against the obsessed fan. Apparently this fan keeps on showing up at her home and behaving erratically. TMZ has reported that Billie has been granted a long-term court-ordered protection against the fan. The restraining order will first be put in place for 3 years, even though the singer had requested a 5-year-long restraining order. But the good news is her 3-year-long restraining order can be extended, preventing that crazed fan from making any contact with the singer during the time.
Yeah, I mean, restraining orders, they're hard to obtain, and the thing about it too is it's not like you have to keep on like renewing it. And also the distance between like what is considered the restraining order.
Very detailed.
It's very detailed, but it also doesn't feel very far. It's like 100 yards, which is 300 feet. Like, that's like not even, that's like 0.0 of a mile.
You can sometimes see the person, but they can't cross that line. So you're right, it's still too close.
It's still too close.
Because it's like a reminder that like someone's psychotic's in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know, to get a restraining order, because I also looked into this about a crazy ex of mine, to get a restraining order, you have to go into court, and the person you want to file a restraining order against has to be in court with you. Which to me, I'm like, the whole point is to not see them ever again, and now you have to see them? Like, so yeah, the restraining order that Billie has received will prevent that fan from contacting Billie at all, and the person cannot come within 100 yards of her parents, which again, as we said earlier, is 300 feet, and not really that far if you think about it. But this order also prevents a stalker from coming near her in her workplace, so we're assuming that that also means in the studio, and then when concerts happen again, that they can't attend concert venues, because that would be her place of work. And also the order protects Billie from being assaulted or harassed by the stalker, but also her workplace. I know she records out of her home.
Definitely. I was gonna say her
home studio is like where she records all her albums with her brother. So, I mean, this is good, but I wish that there was a way that it could even be stronger for Billie and stronger for other people who have to deal with this.
Yeah, I think especially now, like, I mean, a restraining order 10 years ago probably meant something so much different than now. Now we have so many ways of, like, you can get in contact with someone, whether it's virtual, or, you know, you go on Google and you can find where people live, and like here in LA, it's really creepy. Like, you can figure out where celebrities live,
or if someone like
geotags.
If a fan takes a picture of her and tags the location, then they can go there or find out.
I mean, we're always sharing where we are in our stories. We're like at this cool place and we tag it. You know, actually, I feel like this is like a hot tip. I don't know what you actually call this, but maybe like when you're out places, you post when you go home, so you're no longer at that place.
And that is actually what celebrities do. Yeah, they do that all the time, and so that's a good tip for your own safety. If you are worried, you know, always do the location tag and the place after you're there. That's what I always do.
According to court documents, the man has appeared at Billie's home just last month. While he rang the doorbell a bunch of times and asked if he was at the singer's home, Billie's dad kept telling the fan he was at the wrong house, but the fan stayed on their porch for a while. As Billie told the court, the fan was told to leave by security, but he kept coming back and laid down by a wall of her home. The fan kept coming to her house, making a total of 7 attempts to see Billie at home. The police first told Billie there was little they could do about the situation since trespassing is a non-violent crime, and they were trying to keep non-violent offenders out of jail during the pandemic. But then 6 weeks after the stalker came to Billie's home, she was granted the 3-year restraining order. If you have some man that's randomly coming to your home who's not invited, who could harm you, who could harm your family, who's just creeping around the house, like, don't put him in jail, but do something about it. I don't really know what to do.
Because while stalking is a non-violent crime, we've all seen You. It leads to a violent crime most of the time. So yeah, I mean, I think it's like such an apparent warning sign that I really wish our legal system would just take more seriously, and our cops would, you know, do something about it. It is terrifying.
It's crazy.
Really
I mean, like, I can't. Yeah, it's just.
And
really
also,
scary.
this move, 6 weeks, like, sounds like a long time, but that actually is pretty quick, I believe, for restraining orders and for this to happen. And like, I'm sure that it got to move quicker because of who Billie is. Absolutely. But again, I just think of like normal people who have stalkers and have situations where they feel uncomfortable and how long it takes for them. So it's just, So that's why you gotta vote, you gotta sign the petitions, you gotta see if you can create any change. If you think something's not right, there's a way that we can change it in this country, which is kind of a good thing. But what do you guys think about Billie's restraining order against this crazed fan? Do you think the police should have done more? Let us know. I'm Gabi Conti.
I'm Jana Rosenberg, and follow us here at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.